I saw Lestat live in concert for one night only in Hall H. Welcome back, everyone. We are here today to talk about San Diego Comic-Con, the Vampire Lestat Hall H panel. I was there. I saw it live and in action as it was happening. I know that we don't have a new episode today, so this is kind of the best I can do. And I will still be talking about my full season review. Hopefully my hair will look a little less like Hermione year one at that time. But I'm talking to you about this right after getting off the plane back from San Diego. So this is really fresh. My first content back. Let's talk about that. And also, I dressed up for this panel as well. I did a whole Jesse Reeves Queen of the Damned look that I don't think anyone even picked up on, the fact that I was doing an inspired look from the 2002 movie. But man, I loved how it turned out. I loved the makeup. And you know what matters? It matters that I enjoyed what I was wearing and that I knew who I was. That's what cosplay is really all about for me anyways. So I had a great time at this panel. But let's talk about what we saw at the panel. So one of the biggest reveals, I think, at this panel was that, yes, we will be moving into Queen of the Damned next, which, no spoilers on the show for those who haven't finished it yet. I feel like based on how it ended is all I'm gonna say. I think it makes sense that that's where we're going next. I cannot wait to see what they do with that. I personally loved this little teaser, and I loved how they're like, we don't know when we'll be back, so we're just gonna leave you with a little clip show. That's how they ended their panel. We're gonna leave you with a little clip show showing off just, what happened this season for those that maybe haven't seen it yet. And while it started off as a clip show, it quickly turned into a Queen of the Damned takeover, and I loved it. I loved every minute of it. You can see my reaction on the short I posted on my channel here. Queen of the Damned is an amazing book. I think, is it my second favorite book? The Vampire Lestat is probably number one. Queen of the Damned might be number two for me in all of the Vampire Chronicles, although there are really a lot of great ones to choose from. I recently reread Queen of the Damned. Loved my experience with it. It is just so rich when it comes to the mythos of the world. So I'm very excited to see where we're going to go next with that and where they're going to take it. And hearing Sheila talk about her experience on the set, because, Sheila came in at the end of the shoot to film her scene, and she said, I was given 4 pages of monologue, of text, of the speech that I have to do. She said that when she was preparing, actually, she's waiting in her hotel room and she's going over all of her pages, she's going over her lines, she was pacing back and forth, and then she realized, when I'm filming this, I'm gonna be stationary. I'm going to be on a slab, partially have half my body kind of raised in this way. So then she switched to rehearsing it, pacing her hotel room, to laying on her bed, and even propped her body up so that she would be in the exact same position. And apparently Sheila did that in one take. That's right, everyone. Sheila was a one-take wonder on this set. And I think that's one of the coolest things that I learned from this panel in terms of behind the scenes stories, because if you've seen her monologue in the show, it's insane. It's just a lot. It is a lot. And it would be really hard to prepare all of that and have it word for word. There's a lot of repeating. And Sheila said she was thinking through how you move through all of that speech to make it feel like it made sense, like it had a flow, and like she knew where she was going next with it. Honestly, the set of the Vampire Lestat sounds like it is a very theatrical set where when people are doing scenes, they're preparing to completely dive into it, and yet at the same time, this is not a set that seems to have rehearsals, because another story that I really loved from this panel, and we're going to talk about the concert footage in a bit, by the way, I want to talk about that as well, but another thing that people were talking about in the panel was that how do you prepare for some of these scenes? And I think it was Eric, who plays Daniel, who is saying, we just show up. We talk a lot about our scenes. We talk a lot about our characters, and their relationships and kind of filling in all of the blanks. And then when they get to set, they just go. So they don't really have rehearsal. They just have conversations. And I feel like it was amazing to have Asad on this panel as well. Asad Zaman, who plays Armand in the show. And Armand is at quite an interesting season. I can't wait to talk more about his journey in my full season review. But what I loved about what Asad said, speaking of having these conversations, of course, Armand is known for having some pretty intense conversations with himself that bring him to a place where he's going around and he seems to try to be making amends, at least initially. Then we find out what Armand is really looking for as we go through the show. And without getting into spoilers, one of the things that I loved about this panel was hearing Asad talk about the character of Armand and hearing him discuss his perspective on what Armand is like and why he is the way he is. Asad talked a lot about this idea of Armand when he's not being observed. He kind of became obsessed with this idea of what Armand would be like, because for Asad, he was talking about how a key part of the character is that Armand is always here and he's always around people that he's trying to keep up appearances for. So because of Armand's background, he's constantly manipulating people, but also thinking about how he appears to everyone. And when you are that focused on that, what is somebody like when they no longer have anyone watching them, when they're unseen, when they're unobserved? Because something about Armand is that he really is living for these other characters. He's always thinking about, one, manipulating other people, but also how he appears to them. He kind of changes depending on who he's around. And I thought that was a fascinating observation that Asad made about the character. So to hear just Asad's thoughts on the character and what his approach was, and I think while some may feel that Asad is very different from Armand, hearing him speak about this really made me feel like he is the right person to play the character, because he just understands what makes Armand tick so well, in my opinion. So that was really cool to hear. We got to hear some funny stories. A lot of people were talking about Sam the entire time, and I thought that was really cute, because doing a Hall H presentation for the Vampire Lestat and not having Sam there, I mean, it was kind of sad and it was definitely weird. I love that everyone acknowledged how odd it was to be there and not have Sam with them. And also because I feel like they're just such a tight-knit group, the cast. So hearing Eric talk about his experiences working with Sam and how fun it was and how funny Sam is, and saying that one of his favorite stories with Sam was when they got to do the scene where Lestat just can't say Worcester. He cannot say that word for the life of him, and he keeps trying to go Worcester. He just can't. He won't say Worcester. He refuses to. And Eric was saying that scene was so funny, and it just reminded him how brilliant Sam is, how funny he is. Jacob was talking about how weird it was to be there without Sam. He talked about his experience being ahead for part of this season and his little green crop top that he had to wear, which I'm still waiting for pictures of that. I'm still waiting. And we also learned that Jacob became so obsessed with a piece of the set, which I do have to say, in Lestat, these sets are very detailed. And Jacob was saying he doesn't even know if it appears in the show, but there was this peacock painting in Lestat's apartment he kept looking at, and he just loved it so much. It made him so happy coming to set that he took the peacock painting and it now hangs in his home. And he looks at it and it makes him so happy. So I love that, one, Lestat has a peacock painting in his apartment that now probably a lot of fans that have seen the clips of Jacob talking about this are eagle-eyed on the hunt in the show to find it. And if you did find it, let me know if you have a time code, if you have an episode. I'm going to be going back on my rewatch to look for it. But the other thing that I love, not only is they're that painting, not only is it going to make us all comb through the show to try to find it, but that also it just was so beloved by Jacob that he had to take it with him, take it home, and that it will forever be a way that he is connected to this show as long as he has that painting too, you know? In his mind, he's going to be looking at it and thinking about the time he was on set for Interview with the Vampire Lestat, and wherever else they decide to take us on this beautiful journey. Queen of the Damned, and you know, hopefully there'll be more. Hopefully Tale of the Body Thief. We'll see what happens. So that was a lot of the panel and what people were discussing, and I thought it was a great conversation, really fun to listen to. It was amazing. I was near the back at Hall H, but I didn't even care. Just being in Hall H while that was all happening, getting to be in the room with everyone, it's this electric energy, and they started it off really strong. They introed everybody, and then we basically went right into the concert footage. The concert footage will be coming out on August 23rd, so soon we'll all get to see it, and we get to watch the entire concert, I think, or as much of it that they have decided to cut together for us. But the performances we did see, because we saw a few songs, and I even recorded some of it. I don't know if we'll be able to include it here because music, but we'll see what we can do for you, see what we can show you in this video. But it was amazing. I mean, Sam's performance, I heard it was great. I've seen some clips on TikTok and on Instagram, but man, oh my, if I was in that room, I'm pretty sure I would have just dropped dead. It was perfection. Absolutely perfect. The way Sam moves, the way he sings, he's just in character the entire time as Lestat. And the performance was amazing. I was very moved by it. I was singing along in Hall H. There were other people singing along in Hall H with me. Oh, it was so cool. It was so amazing to be in there with so many fans of the Vampire Chronicles, of the Immortal Universe, and just get to be surrounded by that energy, by other people that really love this show as much as I do. So that was great. And that's pretty much what happened in the panel. I mean, it was amazing. It was great. And honestly, I miss talking about Lestat on Mondays. So I'm really happy that I was able to come here and talk with you again about something. The full season review will be coming soon, but I just have missed it so much. I will still be following along with House of the Dragon. I've watched that. We're going to have some other content coming at you from SDCC. And just, there's so many things going on. Spider-Man's coming out soon. Oh my goodness. So I'll be back soon to talk to you guys about other stuff. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching this content. Let me know what you think of just all of the information that we got in terms of the behind the scenes, in terms of what is coming, in terms of the concert. Are you excited? I will be doing a review for that. Let me know down in the comments below. I'll see you down there. And until next time, friends, stay nerdy. Bye. And if you love when I talk about the Vampire Lestat, you know I love to do it. You can check out more of that content by clicking over here.